What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my main event breakdown and prediction for UFC 296. We got Leon Edwards going against Colby Covington.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back for the last main event prediction video of the year. And we have a good one. We have a good fight to end the 2023. Leon Edwards going against Colby Covington for the welterweight championship. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to this card. I mean, this main card for UFC 296 is incredible. We're looking forward to breaking it down. Before we get into it, if you guys can please do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'll be posting more content for UFC 296. Be on the lookout for my co-main event breakdown of Alexander Pantoja, Brandon Royval, and then my full card breakdown and prediction video is going to be posted on Wednesday. But yeah, going to be breaking down this main event here, 5-round welterweight title fight. I'm going to be talking about it from a betting perspective as well. We have odds out on quite a few books. So yeah, there's a couple spots sticking out from a betting perspective. And yeah, just looking forward to it nonetheless. All right. So yeah, I say we get into it. And we're going to start with the tail of the tape here. We got Leon Edwards, 32 years old, 6'2", with a 74-inch reach, 11-3, and 4-0 and 1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Colby Covington, he's 35 years old, 5'11", with a 72-inch reach, 17-3, and he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. We had Edwards opened up minus 145. The line came down for a little bit. It was sitting at about a pick'em. It was like minus 120, plus 100, plus 105, Colby Covington for a while. And then just in like the last 24 hours, a lot of money has came in on the Leon Edwards side. And we have Leon Edwards minus 165 currently. And Colby Covington is sitting at plus 145. So, yeah, it's a very interesting fight here. I think Leon Edwards is extremely talented. I think he's an incredible striker. I think he's been making a lot of improvements as well with the ground game, the takedown defense, the get-up game, and all that. And he was able to go out there and beat Kamaru Usman in back-to-back fights, whereas you got Colby Covington, who is 0-2 against Kamaru Usman there. But yeah, we haven't seen Colby Covington lose to anybody not named Usman in a very long time. The last time he did lose to somebody not named Kamaru Usman was back in 2017 against Warlley Alves with that guillotine choke with like in the first minute there. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting fight. I think it's a competitive fight here. On the feet, who's the better striker? It's Leon Edwards. It's not even close. Technically, he's the much, much, much better striker. The problem I have with Leon Edwards has really always been the volume. Leon Edwards is only landing 2.8 significant strikes per minute. He's only attempting 8 distance strikes per minute, which is very low compared to Colby Covington, who, is not the best striker in the world, but what he does do is throw a ton of volume. Colby's landing 4 significant strikes per minute, and he's attempting a massive 18 strikes per minute at range, which is just kind of unheard of. Like, I can't off the top of my head think of a bigger discrepancy here in terms of, volume being attempted between the two at distance. So, yeah, the better striker technically is Leon Edwards without a doubt, but, Colby Covington can go out there and put up some big numbers. Outside of, Leon Edwards' last fight against Kamaru Usman, he doesn't put up a ton of big numbers. He only landed 55 significant strikes in the fight where Edwards got that head kick with 56 seconds left. Only 55 strikes in 4 rounds and in 4 minutes. And then he had a 5-round fight against Rafael dos Anjos where he landed only 92 strikes across 25 minutes. He had that fight with Nate Diaz where he landed only 77 strikes across 25 minutes. So, yeah, the volume with Edwards definitely does concern me, but there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be landing the much harder strikes, the better looking strikes, and at distance you have to favor Leon Edwards in that aspect of things. Colby Covington, he dishes out a ton of volume as well with going and getting a lot of takedowns. Colby Covington attempts a ton of takedowns. He's landing 4 takedowns per 15 minutes, attempting a ton of takedowns. He's one of those guys that can go out there and attempt 10, 15 takedowns if need be. And yeah, his control's really good as well. He's able to control a lot of these guys besides Kamaru Usman. I mean, Kamaru Usman's the one guy where Colby's really struggled with him, and that's because it's a stylistic nightmare matchup for Colby Covington. Kamaru Usman is. Kamaru Usman has some of the best, if not the best, takedown defense in the division. Prior to the Hamzat fight, Kamaru Usman had like a 96% takedown defense. After the Hamzat fight, it's still 89%. So yeah, Kamaru Usman's takedown defense is elite. Colby Covington went 0 for 11 in one of their fights, and then another fight he didn't even, I don't think, attempted a takedown. So, yeah, but this is a fight where I do think he'll be able to get some of the wrestling going. I think he can win minutes against the cage here against Leon Edwards, but at the end of the day, I think it's a close fight. I think this fight probably does go the distance. The one thing I do worry about potentially is Leon Edwards landing a big shot, maybe knocking out Colby Covington, dropping Colby Covington, because we have seen Colby Covington dropped quite a few times as of late. We saw Jorge Masvidal not officially knock him down, but he knocked him down. Late in that fight, we saw Kamaru Usman drop him twice. We saw Kamaru Usman knock him out in their first fight as well. So yeah, I mean, the chin of Colby Covington, the age of Colby Covington, the layoff of Colby Covington are all massive concerns on his side. But, I mean, he has a path here, and the path is going to be to wrestle, push this fight against the cage, win minutes against the cage, and if he can get this fight down to the mat, like, Colby Covington has very good control once the fight hits the ground, very good cardio, and he always fights to a game plan. He's not going to go out there and strike at range with Edwards for 25 minutes. He's going to be trying to make this fight, honestly, as boring as possible. Like, this is probably not an exciting fight because at range, probably a lot's going to go down. Not a lot's going to go down because Edwards doesn't throw a lot, and then I feel like Colby Covington's going to push this fight against the cage and stall, if you will, but win minutes at the same time. So yeah, close fight here. I think it goes the distance. I think it's one of those fights where it comes down to, damage versus control. I can see Leon Edwards landing big shots on the feet, maybe wobbling Covington, maybe dropping Covington in a round, and then Colby Covington getting like 3-4 minutes of control in a round. Are the judges going to score the damage? Are they going to score the control? I think it's that type of fight. I just think it's super competitive. Like, I know people hate Colby Covington. Edwards is a massive fan base. But, I mean, this fight's just really close to me. So, I'm going to take the dog here in Colby Covington with not a ton of confidence, but I feel like he could go out there. I feel like he's going to out-volume Leon Edwards. I feel like he's going to control Leon Edwards for a big portion of this fight, take him down for a big portion, and ultimately win a decision. But I can even see it being like a split decision type fight. So, from a betting perspective, there are a couple spots that are sticking out. Although I'm not picking Edwards by knockout, I'm curious to see what the Edwards by knockout prop is. Edwards by knockout is like plus 375. I don't think that's terrible. That's the one thing I'm kind of worried about. And then on the Covington side, Covington decision only, which is the opposite of finish only. Whereas if there is a finish in the fight, the bet gets voided. And if the fight does go the distance, Colby Covington decision only is plus 125. I kind of like that more than the money line, just because if he does get knocked out, the bet does void. And like I said, that's the one thing I'm worried about is the chin of Covington. So, yeah, Covington decision only plus 125. I don't think that's the worst look in the world if you are on the Covington side, which I'm sure not many people are. And then also, DraftKings has this prop, and it's not out yet. But fight to end by split decision, I think, is going to be very live. Like, I'm seeing the fight as being very close, very competitive, damage control type fight, main event. I can see a split decision here potentially. And sometimes they have those at, like, stupid prices. Like, if we can get it, like, plus 600 or, like, something dumb like that, because it is a 5-round fight. So I think we can get a solid price on the fight ends by split. I haven't bet nothing like that in a while. But, yes, fight ends by split definitely has my attention. We'll see what the odds are on that. But, yeah, final prediction is going to be Colby Covington by a razor-thin, close, split decision. I feel like there's going to be some people calling robberies on either side no matter who wins. Just feels like one of those fights to me. Outside of Edwards maybe knocking him out, but that's not really something Edwards does. Edwards only 3 knockouts in the UFC, and Edwards has been in the UFC for like 8-9 years. So, yeah, give me Colby Covington. Colby Covington by decision. Let me know what you guys like down in the comments. I think there's some solid betting spots on this fight. I like that decision only, and I like that split decision prop as well. So, be on the lookout for my full card UFC 296 breakdown and prediction video. There is still like 4 fights I want to dig into a little bit deeper, but once I get those done, I'll record, I'll edit, and then I'll get that out Wednesday afternoonish. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss out on all of that. And then I'm going to be going live multiple times this week. I have 2 best bet shows this week. One on Friday, a group on Friday, and then a group on Saturday. So 2 best bet shows. It's going to be fun. And then also my final thoughts breakdown on Friday as well. So lots of content. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on it. And best of luck for UFC 296, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. See you later.